So one of the things I often say is that real estate is not a get rich quick scheme. It's more of the goal is to get rich slow, do well.
Welcome to the Ironclad Underwriting Podcast, where precision meets performance in commercial real estate. I'm your host, Jason Williams, and every week we deep dive into the strategies and systems and stories behind rock-solid underwriting. Whether you're a seasoned analyst, an up-and-coming investor, or a commercial real estate professional looking to sharpen your edge, this show is your front row seat to expert insights, emerging trends, and real-world underwriting tactics that stand the test of time and scrutiny. From market assumptions to debt structuring, cap rates to cash flow, we're cutting through the noise and getting to the numbers that matter. So sharpen your pencils and fire up those models. Let's get to work. This is Ironclad Underwriting. Hey, everybody. This is Jason Williams, and this is our first Ironclad Underwriting Podcast. So I have a special guest with me here, business partner and friend, Frank Patalano.
Hello, sir.
And since this is the first one, we'll just sort of tell you about ourselves, and the objective of this podcast is to give you underwriting tips and tricks and not bear you down too much into the details. If you want the details, then you can give me a call. You can go to ironcladunderwriting.com. We can get all of that information in the show notes. But yeah, so let's start off. I'm Jason Williams. I'm your host. And I have been investing in real estate for over 20 years. I am an engineer by trade. I've been an R&D engineer for 15 plus years. And so I took that mindset of being an R&D engineer where I have to gather data from the lab tests that we took, convert it into something that the salesman can sell so that they could sell the product that we were doing. And so I created systems to help it from the lab tech gather the data, run through the systems, and present it to the salespeople. And so I took that mindset from that and put it into real estate, specifically commercial real estate. So now what I can do is run systems where I can really quickly and easily show you how to take data from like an OM or a rent roll or a T12 and put it into your underwriting model so you can get an answer very quickly. So but like I said, I've been in real estate for 20 years. I started off in single family. I bought my first house in 2003. I still have it to this day. I cashed out, refinanced it a few times, and bought additional property with it. And in 2017, my wife and I met Joe Fairless at a conference in DFW, and he introduced us to apartment syndications and using OPM or other people's money. So with that opened my eyes because the single family route is long and slow. You take a few years to gather up enough money for a down payment, and you make down payment, you buy a new house and you get it rented out, and then you start all over and you have to wait a few years to gather up enough money for another down payment. So, I mean, like I said, we've been in this for 20 years and we only have a handful of single family houses. But since we got into multifamily, we have 160, used to be 180 doors, and another mobile home community on the way, which is going to have 104 lots. So scalability is a good thing with other people's money. So let's see that. So, and like I said, I've been an R&D engineer throughout this whole process of doing it. So I was doing them in parallel. And then in June of 2022, my company moved from Wichita Falls, where I live, to Houston, and they didn't invite me to go with them. So they laid me off. But the good news is I had already started on my real estate journey and was planning on leaving them anyway. And so I was actually able to get a 6-month severance package and do what I was going to do anyway. So, I mean, it worked out for us in the long run.
Jason, obviously we're going to be talking to our listeners on a lot of episodes. Maybe you can talk about your kids a little bit and your family.
Yeah, so I have 4 kids. 17 is the oldest. Right now, this is 2025, just so you know how old she is. So she's 17. My next is a son who's 14, who's profoundly autistic. He's got a duplication of the 15th chromosome, so he is special needs, and he's difficult. And then my other two are how old they're 10 and 8, and they're both girls. So I have three girls and one son. And the reason why my wife and I really got into real estate, yeah, we've been in it longer than our kids have been alive, but we really started getting deep into it, especially with the apartment syndication, is because with our son, he costs a lot of money. And when my wife and I are no longer here, my wife being Angel Williams, she has her own podcast and she'll probably be a guest on here at some point. But when she and I are no longer alive or capable of caring for our girls, we want to create a legacy of wealth so that our girls don't have to worry about where the money's going to come from to take care of their brother. All they have to do is love them. So that is our reason why we're doing this.
So, Frank Patalano, I do have my own podcast called The Cash Flow Kings. But I'm also, hopefully going to be a recurring guest slash co-host here with Jason. I love Jason and Angel a lot. They are great partners on every deal we're a part of now. I started originally as a school teacher. Uh, Angel's a school teacher, a former school teacher as well. And I started as a school teacher in Rhode Island. I started teaching in 2001, subbing, and then eventually went full time. I put about 17 years into school teaching. While I was doing that, my wife was also teaching as well. I had a part-time job in retail. So between everything, I was working about 7 days a week. And as you're working, if you don't spend a lot of money, there's a good chance that money can start to accumulate a little bit. So then you have to decide what to do with it. So what some people do with it is they try to keep up with the Joneses. They're buying that next big house to live in. They're buying a beautiful, expensive car. Other people donate a lot to charity. Other people do a bunch of different things with it, and we decided to invest it. So I started out by investing a little bit in the stock market. I do enjoy stocks, but I don't feel that there's a lot of control on what I can actually do to change my investment. You know, if you buy shares of Walmart stock, you can only buy so many Band-Aids from Walmart, and it's not really going to change your investment value. So that's why I really started to focus in 2004, studying and learning and educating myself about real estate. I feel that you have a lot more control over your investments and your assets. You can add a garage to a property. You can add another bathroom to a property. You can change the rent. There's a lot of different ways to change what a property is valued for. You can also negotiate different types of loans, whether it's hard money or short-term financing, or a whole bunch of different ways to really change the way your income and the way your expenses go. Plus, there's so many tax advantages as well. So we bought our first multi around 2009, and we still own that multi today. And every year, as I was working, hustling 7 days a week, we try to buy one or two more smaller properties. And I got into syndications around 2019. I met someone by the name of Rod Cleef. Another Joe Fairless is awesome. Rod's my guy as well. And syndications is definitely a great way to invest in real estate. I'm also a joint venture or a partner in many other smaller and mid-sized deals around the country. But the main thing I want to do is I wanted to help other people invest in partnerships and make money along with me. And right now we're invested in 2025. I think we're invested in around 12 markets. So Jason and I always have a lot of great discussions looking at numbers. He is definitely more of the math whiz. I think that I probably have a little bit more experience on the multifamily side, but that's okay. It's a great team combination. Like I said, I don't always appreciate the underwriting that he's able to do, but that's why we have a great relationship where I give him some ideas and he definitely gives me a lot of ideas to help look at new deals. And they're not always deals that Jason's looking at himself, but he also loves just looking at opportunities. And eventually, I don't think it's going to be just real estate. I'm looking at some business stuff as well. Besides the mobile home park, I also own a hotel right now, so always trying to get Jason to look at new items and push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm my portfolio is not strictly real estate. I'm also invested in the stock market. I've I'm invested in some oil and gas. Since we started getting into the syndication and going to meetups and stuff, we have met a lot of people who are in other um,
Asset class.
vehicles, asset classes, or investment vehicles. So like I said, we're in oil and gas. um, we own, and it's similar to a syndication where you buy into it as an investor. So we have oil wells in like Montana and East Texas that we've partnered in, sort of as limited partners. we're in we're in a winery, um, as well as other real estate, multifamily. I think I'm in a mixed use, or maybe it's just another multifamily. I don't even really know what they all are. As an LP, I think I'm probably one of the easiest ones. I always like the easy LPs where I give them my money, and then like once a year I get my K1 from the website and give it over to my accountant, and I don't really give them grief. And when money goes into my account, I smile. So
There you go. That's always nice. I mean, I don't know. It's tough sometimes. I mean, the market's definitely there's definitely good times in the market. There's definitely bad times in the market. Sometimes you buy an opportunity, and underwriting definitely helps with this. Sometimes you buy an opportunity you think's going to perform really well, and if you have really good underwriting, even if some mistakes are made, you can still do okay on it. And then there's definitely people that are not using enough underwriting, or they're being a little too aggressive with their numbers right now, that they are feeling a lot of pain, especially in 2025. In 2024 there was so many foreclosures of larger apartment complexes like in the Houston metro, and that was a combination of very low interest rate bridge debt mixed with high increases in insurance and taxes. So
and rate caps expiring, and if you don't know what all these terms are we're using, don't worry. Stick around and we'll break them down whenever we deep dive into these ideas and philosophies in later episodes. Um, but yeah, we were talking to a guy what a couple weeks ago who has a mobile home community or RV park, one of those. I forget. I think it's a mobile
RV
home
park.
RV park, and it's in pre foreclosure right now, and he's just looking to get out from under it. So, um, we are currently working on a big deal right now. We haven't syndicated it yet, but we may. So it's really large as a JV, but it would be probably one of your smaller syndications if we go that avenue. But even with the best underwriting and the best business plan and everything makes sense, one thing that Frank and I are big on is who's operating it, who are the sponsors, and who's going to be running the show. Because you can have the best underwriting and the best business plan, and if the people running in the show don't do what they say they're going to do, or they veer off, that could kill the deal right there. And I've personally been in a deal where that has happened, and I wasn't too happy about it. We eventually got out, and I think we made like $1,200 or something over the course of 19, 20 months. So I could definitely have invested that in something else and made more money, but I did learn a lesson. And so
Hey, listen, on some of these deals, no matter how many months it is, if you come out ahead in dollars, that's definitely a win.
that's
Um,
true. With all these foreclosures going on, people are putting in hundreds of thousands of dollars and walking away with zero. So I guess I can't complain too bad or too much, but
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
not just syndication stuff either. I mean, I have a friend that was in a JV deal. He put $125,000 into the deal, and in the end, he got back 21,000. So he lost about 100 grand. There were tax benefits, depreciation, etc., and stuff we're going to talk about over the podcast. But obviously, losing $100,000 is painful no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
And
scare people, but if you underwrite well, then you reduce your chances of losses.
yeah, you start mitigating the risks before they happen, and you be more proactive in your business plan versus reactive. And I mean, there's always going to be times when things are you're going to have to be reactive because maybe the market takes a dive and your occupancy drops to 70%. Not that we would know or anything about that, but you have to you have to react. You have to start working and start working towards your business plan. And yeah, you can deviate from it, but at least you have a path to go to. So
So one of the things I often say is that real estate is not a get rich quick scheme. It's more of the goal is to get rich slow, do well.
yeah, it's definitely a long-term play. Like most investments are, they're most long-term plays. Um, like you hear people say, "Oh, if I only bought IBM back in 1970 or whatever." Guess what? That was what, almost 60 years ago. So definitely a long-term play. If you bought it in 1970 and bought it in 1971, I doubt you made much money.
I bought Yahoo over Amazon, so I know what you mean on that.
So, if you're interested in underwriting, if you're interested in business plans or tax advice, well, we can't really give too much advice because we're not financial planners, CFAs, CPAs, lawyers, or anything. So take that with a grain of salt, but at least we can let you ask the right people the right questions. Um, so do you have anything else, Frank?
No, thank you for the time, sir. I will see you next time.
Yep. And oh, I'll also, along with bringing or talking about hints and tips and tricks about underwriting and philosophies, we'll also bring in the occasional guest who's an expert in the field, in whatever. So we can bring in like lending brokers or insurance brokers or tax advisors, property tax advisors, income tax advisors if you're interested in that. And yeah, so my wife, Angel Williams, has a huge network, and I am definitely going to be tapping into that. So look forward to seeing you in future episodes. So, all right. This is Jason Williams, Ironclad Underwriting. This is Frank here with me, Frank Patalano. And you can reach us at ironcladunderwriting.com, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Ironclad Underwriting Podcast. If you got value from today's conversation, make sure to subscribe, rate, and share the show. And don't forget to connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or check us out at our website at ironcladunderwriting.com for more insights and updates. If you have a question, a deal you're analyzing, or a topic you want us to tackle, shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep your assumptions grounded, your models sharp, and your underwriting ironclad.